What's going on, Vanquishers? Charlie here with another state of the game.
God.
Yeah, so I forgot to hit the volume button. See, if I had a switchboard, I'd be good, but I don't have a switchboard. Somebody's holding out on me.
No.
All right, guys. Well, welcome back to a state of the game. My name is Charlie. I'm one of the creators and developers of the Vanquishers TCG. We typically run through all the improvements and status of where we are with the project tonight. But before we even get started, we'd like to introduce all the developers behind this project. Again, my name is Charlie. I am the creator and a developer.
Yes, you are.
I most certainly am.
All right, guys, and I'm Jason. I handle all the social media and business sides of Vanquisher TCG. I'm the dream killer, so here I am.
The dream killer.
And I am Jose Juan Pablo Rodriguez III, a.k.a. El Taka Man, a.k.a. the web and app developer for Vanquishers TCG. How you doing?
Brandon, he's going last next week.
I was gonna say, man, y'all do this to me.
Coming in on this. He's going last next week, man. He's starting forward. We're changing the lineup.
Technically, Jose went second for a little bit. Then I went, and then he went third, and then
eventually he's gonna be at the end of the line.
All right. Check this out.
Oh man.
I'm Brandon. I am the game balancer. Let's go.
That's it. Rock fire. All right, guys. So tonight, typically we have a lot of stuff to update you guys with. I know the last day of the game was we came in during 4th of July. We had a couple of celebrations that we want to go with, to update you guys with, but we didn't get to go into full details in certain things, and we would like to try to do some of that tonight. So what we typically cover is going to be our social media network, our web and app updates, and of course the tabletop and physical card game updates. We do have our sections here, but Jason's going to go ahead and set it off for us with the social media network. There's quite a bit that he's going to be updating you guys with. And we do have a little treat we're going to showcase to you guys tonight. A little something. But we'll wait. Yeah, we'll wait a little later. All right, Mr. Jason, go ahead. Tell him what's up.
What's going on, everybody? So we're here to talk about what's been going on the social media, the outreach, the networking, the talking, the walking, the acting, the quacking, everything.
No slacking.
And no slacking. Jose said no slacking. That threw me off. All right. So here we go. First thing we're going to talk about is our street team. I want to shout out all our street team members. Y'all know who y'all are. Don't worry. There are going to be some posts coming soon where we're going to be highlighting you guys and shouting you guys out on everything because you guys been killing it. So as of right now, our street team consists of 7 people. We have a Florida-based team and we have a Tennessee-based team, and we got some people in between. So we got the whole East Coast and into the Midwest starting to get touched, and then we also have an LGS over in Illinois that's also taking some of our product and showing it to their patrons there and stuff like that. So right now we are reaching a lot across the nation right now. We're reaching across the states. So it's really going well right now. This week we had got all the flyers and posters done. So shout out to the whole street team that were able to come together and put that on. So you can't see it too good in the background over here for me, but we have posters that are going into LGSs. When we switch out, I'll go grab it and bring it closer so you guys can see it. And then we also have flyers going to all these LGSs that are working with us. So we got these ones that show Vale and Solaris.
Special shout out to the Lewis or Too Fluent that's helped us out with this, man. We really do appreciate you. He was the first person that got on it. I'm talking like we sent the email out less than 24 to 48 hours. My man had everything out moving for us, man. We appreciate you.
So with these flyers, they're going to LGSs. They're already actually Too Fluent. Lewis,
right now?
We're at 2 of them. So
yeah,
as of right now,
now,
we're in Northport, Florida for sure. Me and Brandon actually took a trip down there and met up with the LGS owners, with our street team reps. Posters went up. The poster behind me, one of those went up, and these are in their store for people to scan the QR and to see how to play the game. And then if you look at the backside of these flyers, it's our street team initiative. So if you are interested in our street team initiative, all you have to do is click on
Nebula though.
Yep. So the program that we're doing with our street team reps is that you scan this link tree, and it has a link in there that says free card. It says V Street Team Initiative, and it says free card in parentheses. If you go through the process and register through that, you get this card for free. If you see up close, the artwork right there, that is the card that you get for free. The cool thing we're doing with this card, so we only printed 1,000 of these cards because we're testing a different style of doing some selective materials on the card. So with this card, it's going to have a selective gloss on it. So think of it like selective foil, but it's actually selective gloss that we're going to be doing to this card for the first 1,000, because we're going to be testing out what we like and what we don't like about that. So once you go through and register and we have those cards in, we'll start sending them out to everybody. Full disclosure, the card is free, but we just need the shipping and handling, which is a few dollars, so that we can send it to you guys, whoever registers through that. But with the Street Team Initiative, what happens is our teams out there, they're going to actually have physical cards on them. So when they're out in places, they can actually talk about the game and show the game to people and give them cards, and have them register the website. The way you get the card is by actually registering to the website. And becoming part of our family here in the Vanquisher family. So that's what we're doing for the Street Team Initiative, and it'll just keep growing as we go. The way the Street Team is going to grow as well is they're going to actually be some of the first people to get access to like doing tournaments or getting product to go and show people in the LGS how to play the game and all that kind of stuff. We did a really big order of test decks for LGSs because we literally having all these LGSs ready to go and ready to show our game to their patrons. After this weekend, while we were there this weekend, you can ask Brandon, like people were just coming up to us, asking about the game, telling us to put product on the shelf. They want to play it in person. So it's really, really cool kind of
Really
thing going
cool,
on.
very humbling and very appreciative, but you know, people are loving what we're doing.
Yeah. So, and then I think, so that was, we went up there Saturday and met up with them. And then on Sunday, they came down because one of our street team reps, Justin, he's based out of Tampa as well.
Just
and
31.
he went just 31. He's at our, he's called the Veil Man.
The Veil Man. Veil Master. He said the Veil Master.
Mastering. He's mastering it.
My man.
So, if you want to learn how to play Veil, I would ping Justin. Also, if anyone's new and you want to learn how to play, you can always ping. You do at playtesters, and it'll ping all the people that are playtesters in the server on Discord, and you'll be able to contact them and set up games. Brandon's usually pretty flexible in trying to set up times. Every Sunday he's available, and he'll talk about the times and how he works all that out when he gets to his segment. Sorry, Brandon, didn't mean to pull that from you. But yeah, everything on the street team is going smoothly and it's going at our pace. And that's the main thing that we always preach is we try to stay at our pace. We want to make sure that everything is moving smoothly and everything is understood how it's going forward and happening. So I just want to make sure that everybody knows that we're sticking to a pace and we're trying to make sure that everything you get is quality and that everything that you see in the stores and everything that you're able to get through these prompts and stuff like that is going to be product that we want to have for you to play with and have on person. The last cool thing about this card, though, just so you guys know, this card will not say for promotional use on the back like the test decks. This is actually the first card that's going to be early access basically to having a card that's part of the set, that's part of the actual set. And we're not 100% if the gloss selective that we're going to do on this is going to be on the final one. So you might have one that's a little special, but these cards will be playable with the Kickstarter launch cards as well. So
and it's a must get card, man.
Yeah.
I cannot stress you guys that Nebulae card. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit challenging to read. We could probably cover it later on, but the card itself is very, very powerful, and it helps your Nebulae group become a lot stronger because it adds 1 to all of the Nebulae stats, and that's including the heroes.
Yeah, and that's something that we designed because the Nebulae brand manufacturer is the people's is for the people. So all you guys out there that have ideas, think some kind of card idea, if you join our Patreon, you can be part of actually helping cards be made that you think could work, and they're always going to be branded as the Nebulae brand. The Nebulae brand in our game is for the people, for the community to put together. And I do appreciate everyone that's given suggestions, giving us flavor text. We don't normally do flavor text, but I think the only time we're going to do it is through the Nebulae. Through the Nebulae brand is the only time we're going to really do flavor text. So if you guys like flavor text, jump on in there and you can add some flavor text in there. We can pick some good ones out. I let Brandon read them first, then I read them, and then Charlie reads them, and then Jose thinks about them.
Yeah, I think about them only. That's it.
And then and yeah, so big shout out to Team Fluent. That's Lewis or I'm sorry, Too Fluent. Something almost fell on me on the left hand side. And Little Miss A, and then Team Just 31 over here in Tampa. Like, they're really putting the grind in. Shout out to Dragu and Lord Minis, Lord Dragon. Kyle, he knows who he is. He's working on the Tennessee side with Vetflix on getting our stuff out there. So shout out to everybody who's helping put in some stuff. Charlie, I think we're going to go to double screen for the next one because we need to talk about the booster packs and show everybody kind of what they need to be looking for when they're looking for chases.
Booster packs.
Yeah, we need that golden ticket. We need to go show everybody what it looks like. So while everybody is going through the process of opening your booster packs and stuff, you're going to see we have 27 of each hero in a variant artwork that is in those booster packs. So some people have already busted them open. There's a big chunk of them that are getting sent out, that people haven't opened them yet, but they are going to be open soon. So there's going to be more out there with the chases that we added into it. So everybody knows when you're opening your packs, always check your ammo cards. When the ammo cards are in a box like that, always check them, because what we did is, out of all the devs, we assigned 5 of the ammos on the card and check them. So those are another chase in there. So there's 5 cards from each of us signed that have our signatures on there. There's 1 ammo card that has all of the devs signed. And then Charlie's showing you guys on the screen, one of the chases is inside the booster pack. There's going to be one of these golden stickers. There's 4 of them only across the whole 250 packs. And that golden sticker, if you find it and you take a picture of it and send it to us. Also, if you also underneath it, there should be a signature from one of the devs. If you find that and send it to us with a picture on your Instagram or directly through Discord, we'll be able to give you a special promo that is for those 4 people. It's early access to the promos that are coming out this month. Free charge. We're going to just send that straight to you for finding that golden ticket, basically. So be on the lookout for those. We'll have a picture of it, and I'll post it on Discord. I'll post it on social media so that you guys have more visual of it, so you can see how it'll look and stuff like that. I think we've already gotten one with my signature found by one of our Discord members, and they posted it, so you can also check that out. And the new channel, shout out to Little Miss A, who gave us that channel idea. It's called she said that, well, I think it was between her and Lewis. It was a channel for posting your polls. So we didn't have a channel like that, and we called it Do You Even Pull, Bro?
Yeah, that's right. I just saw it.
So that's a channel where you guys can post any of your polls, any cool cards that you get from us, to kind of like let people know what's going on out there and where they're at. We thought it was a funny name, cool thing, a little to vibe with when you're going in there. So we made that channel today as well. And we're good on that. And then the Saros armor, sorry that we have not reached out to everybody yet. We will be reaching out this week to get it sent out to all you guys. The problem was that we were just focused on getting all the booster packs and everything sent out and make sure that went flowing right. Then I also forgot the card at Charlie's house because I do all the shipping. So
yeah, so I got a hostage. I currently got a hostage. It will be
some
delivered
hostage,
tomorrow to Mr. Jason to get him out.
yeah, I found something that he'll exchange the Saros armors for. We'll talk about later.
Oh yeah,
we're gonna do a trade-off for it. So just be on the lookout for those emails this week so that we can make sure we're good to go. And if you have any questions or anything, just jump in there and ask them as we go. If you're new, we usually try to live answer some questions. If anything comes afterwards, we have a really good community that talks and walks and acts and quacks inside the Vanquishers TCG Discord. So a lot of them can answer questions and help you along your way if you're trying to figure out what's going on. All right. And then the next thing will be this month, the end of the month, big month in the sense of
huge month.
Unveiling
huge
what we're going to do. You know what I mean? So this month is the first month we're going to actually be at a convention with our booth set up. Just a little history so you guys know, we've in the past had businesses and we've done conventions before. We've actually won awards for having like the best booth at conventions before for when we had different businesses before. So we're bringing that same energy to this. So the people on our Patreon have already seen a sneak peek of what our booth is going to look like and how we have it set up. it's going to be really fun and really cool. So this month, Tampa Comic Con is going to be our first convention that we're going to be doing as Vanquisher TCG. We really wanted to do it for the hometown first. We could have done a few other places for the con to be our first place, but we really wanted to do it at home first and show love to our city. So we're going to do Tampa Comic Con. But the cool thing is, because it's a comic con, right? It's for comics and everything, but comic is in there. The cool thing that's happening is our comic book is finished for the Kickstarter. And how many months? We months ahead. We ahead of schedule, Charlie. Jose, we ahead of schedule.
Fire.
We're ahead.
Rock fire.
We're super ahead of schedule.
We ahead of schedule.
Finally.
So being ahead of schedule, we're doing a pre-Kickstarter version of the comic book. This is not going to be the final product. This is probably not going to be our final printer for it, but we wanted to get some books out there to show everybody what they could be anticipating for. The other cool thing about this pre-Kickstarter version of the comic book, the cool thing about it is we're flying down the artist that drew it, Zip Draw. He's flying down from Minnesota. And he's going to be here the whole weekend signing comic books, meeting and greeting with people, talking, and letting everybody know his experience making the book, how it felt doing everything, what brought him on, and all that kind of stuff in person. And all the books will be signed. So any books that are left over, just know our Patreon people will be the first ones that get access to getting those books from us. The other Easter egg that we did with the comic books is going to be, should I say, I don't know, Charlie, should I say it?
Wait a second, is it Easter egg if you say it though?
Well, I mean, not everyone's gonna know who he is, though, but because they're just gonna.
It ain't really an Easter egg if you talk about it.
This is what I'll say.
They won't know who it is, though. Like, so you gotta say something, Jay, because they may see it and just not think anything of it.
Right. So, well, I'm not even gonna talk about that part, but what I'll say this is, the other thing is, we really think about the people that follow us and the people that we're like a family, and we want to make sure that we always orient everything towards family and everyone in the family. So the other thing we did with the comic book is we made coloring books.
Ah, right.
So if you find us at the Tampa Comic Con and you get one of the comic books and you have your kids with you, we're going to definitely give you a comic book to just have with it. The only caveat is you gotta let your kids color in it and post it online. If we have
not a comic book, a coloring book.
No, not the comic. Yeah, he's right. Don't color
on your comic book. You definitely don't want to color on your comic.
But in the coloring book, you guys go ahead and color away. And it's just something we think that'll be really cool, like, because we have a pretty good IP. Like, I know I'm talking like adult talk, not IP, but we have a really good image and we have a really good fun thing like space and sci-fi and stuff like that. So we really think that like kids would really like that. So we're gonna try to see if we have anything left over as well. Patreon members will get early access, and then if they don't get all of them, we will definitely reach out to the Discord channels and let people know that if we have any left over, if anybody wants them. The coloring books are going to be something that we continue to do as we go, because it's kind of fun. You know, you get to read the book, your kid gets to hang out with you while you're reading the book. You can read the book to them or talk about it while they're painting it and picking their colors or what they think they should look like and stuff like that. And there's just an idea we thought, because like we said, we like to orient everything as like a family, and I think that's bringing your family into this and not just you collecting it or you having it is an important thing. Because when I was a kid, I didn't grow up all my parents like that, so I used to have that stuff with me and my brothers, so we want to pass it along in a sense of the joy of having that. So we'll have pictures and stuff as we get closer. I think next Monday we might do, I'm going to talk to Zip and see before he comes if he wants to do a state of the game with us where he can come on and you guys can ask questions. So with the Patreon people and the Discord, I'll put out a thing to ask questions for him. So while we're in there, he can, if he can on that Monday, come in and just do a quick, like, what's up to everybody and talk to everybody. So you guys can pick his brain and talk to him a little bit before the actual Comic-Con and get to know him a little bit. So just wanted to make sure that you guys know when that's going on. So yeah, so we got the flyers and everything done. We got all the little, stuff. We actually got pins, more pins. So like last, one of the conventions that we went to MegaCon, we had this as a pin. So now we have more pins of this and other characters. So just be on the lookout for that. Jose will give you some more updates about that. My fingers go in the wrong directions because I'm doing this wrong. But yeah, so we got pins, flyers, coloring books, we got comic books, we got our comic book artists coming out. And the coloring book is the art from the comic book, but some of the stuff that is like the behind the scenes comic book stuff, but in color book form. So some cool stuff with that. And then zips flying down, and then that's basically everything I need to go over for the for my part. And if you are part of our Patreon, all the comic books will be signed. If you're part of our Patreon, you got, that's one of the, I'm just answering Lord Dragon's question in here. He's asking if he can't make it, can he get a signed book? Yeah, if we have books left over, they're all going to be signed for Patreon members to get. Yeah, so that's definitely something that we do for Patreon members. Like whenever they want something signed or they want something like that done, Patreon members get that whether they see us in person or not. Being part of, because you're part of our Patreon and believing in the cause and stuff like that. So just be on the lookout for that. So the street team initiative is going good. The next thing that we're looking at for our community growth. So if you guys want to do another giveaway for a low count of cards, which would be 16 count for Energy Overload card print run, which we just did the Saros armor. Our goal was 200 people in Kickstarter, which we knocked that out the water. We're going to 300. We're getting close. We're not getting close. I'm saying it just preemptively, but we're getting closer. We're past 200, and we're going to go to 300. So we already hit that goal. And then Discord, we want to hit 400 people in Discord, and we're pretty close on that. We're like at 362, 365. We keep teetering. And then we have for Instagram, our goal is 3,000 people, which we're almost at 2,700 already. So we're teetering, getting closer to that. So if we hit those goals, we'll do another card giveaway. Remember, the way we do it is for every 10 people that register on our website, we give out, we do a raffle for one card. And we basically, the way it's going to go is if we do another one and everyone registers, we're basically going to have all 16 will be given away on the next giveaway. So y'all know. Also, from the last giveaway, the Saros armor, 3 of them were pulled from the 16, and those are in the booster packs for a chase. So there's 3 of 16 only print of the Saros armor Energy Overload. So you guys have all those things to look for in the packs. A lot of stuff going on, and we're trying to keep it busy for you guys, so you keep you on your toes and stuff like that. So if you have any questions or anything like that, go ahead and ask in the chat. And that's all I have for you today, folks.
Yo, Jason, you the man, homie. You the
man. That was a stop.
like how you follow that up?
I don't know, but I can't hear Charlie.
Yeah, you better try
Charlie
really
is
hard.
muted, I think. Is it not?
I think. Yeah, Charlie's
Fix
just
your mic.
talking. Charlie's just talking.
Charlie, make sure fix your mic.
I guess he can't hear us either. He
Charlie,
can't hear
anyways.
us, and he's muted.
He's muted. Ask to unmute. Ask to unmute. Unmute Zoom, man. Okay, so guys, Charlie's muted right now. He's coming. He gonna come back. Man.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into the webinar stuff while Senor Charlie gets all well and fixed up here. So
It's all good. We don't need Charlie.
yeah, I know we don't need Charlie. We did a glitch already.
Is this the glitch edition?
We got this.
Halfway glitch.
All right. Members.
Shout out 2 Lanes in there, Loca in there. Juan is in there. Hey, y'all, did y'all see that Juan was tagging? He tagged like a broke down car with Vanquishers TCG.
What?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Now my thing got frozen. Anyways, I'll just keep talking. For the first part of my list of things to talk about, I saw on the Discord earlier today that I think it was it just 31 wanted to get that the Alteza for the website pinned. So that right now is pinned, so you'll be able to get to it whenever you want to use it. It should be on there, right? I think I have it on there. Anyways, you guys should find it. It should be there on the Alteza part of the on the Discord. Second part of my spew that I have I was supposed to talk about this I think last week, but I'm glad that I get to talk about it this week. As Jason showed you earlier about the cards that they were going to be handing out that Two Fluent made. That link goes to the link tree, right? On that link tree, you have to look for the part where it says get the free card for the VSTI. Once you do that, you will go to a landing page that you will be pretty much opting into. Once you opt into that, you get an email pretty much saying to confirm your email in order for you to be part of our newsletter and to get all of the updates that we'll be sending out and stuff like that. Once you do that, you get another email, because this is a process, bro. You can't just get a free card for no reason. Once you do that, you get another email to actually register to the site, because in order to get this card, you have to be registered to the site, or if not, it's blocked out. Once you register to the site, it gives you time. Well, the next email will come in where it has the link for the card, but it gives you time to actually register to the site. So you'll be able to get that. The link will come in. Everybody's happy. Make sure that you look into your promotional part of your emails, because that's from when I do it. That's where I've been getting them from, unless you actually like favorite our emails. Once you favorite our emails, it'll go straight to the front. And that's Spew. I thought that was pretty long and kind of boring, but it has to be done. At least you'll know for if you guys get these cards or hand them out to anybody, they know the process that needs to be done in order to get the card. Cool.
All right, so just follow those steps and you will get the card.
Right, exactly. So my next Spew, also last week I've been working with the street team stuff in the background for the website, trying to figure out the system for the point systems and all that stuff like that. You know, people can get their credits for, you know, getting people into this to our family. I'm still working on it. I'm trying to perfect it before I actually give out either the referral codes or whatnot it is that I'm handing out. I'll probably take or have one of the street team members participate in, like, I guess, a test run to see how it's going to work out and make sure that everything is working out correctly. And once that gets done, then I'm good. And then once it gets done, I'll actually hand out all the referral links to everybody. And probably, because I might be doing it two different ways, either just the stores might get the codes for that store, or I might do both, the store and the members of the street team, so everybody gets credit to what they do. And other than that, we got new merch. If only Charlie was here to show the store.
So yeah, let's do this. Guys, we're gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna come back and show you all the new merch that we got on the website.
Hey, maybe
we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna get it all situated. So just bear with us, and we're gonna go ahead and be right back in one moment. All right?
Yeah.
We're having technical difficulties, and we apologize.
All right, guys, listen, we apologize. My mic kind of took a different direction. It wanted to do its own thing. So apparently I was doing things in the background while everything was going on, so I done dropped the ball. That was my fault. I apologize.
It says we're all muted.
We're all muted.
No, we're not.
Why are we all muted?
No, we're not.
Can you hear us? Oh, I think what happened was we started off jacked up. I think we should all be good, guys.
All right.
Yeah, so, I'm going to take full responsibility. It ain't a Vanquisher State of the Game stream if nothing bad happened, right? So this one's definitely a new one that occurred. So, Jose.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So, Jose, let's go back.
I think we need to re-go through your stuff again, man. Let's kind of take a couple tracks back, because this is like, I don't know if it required instructions with what you were trying to say. I don't know if it needed stereo instructions, man.
I was gonna say, usually you swing in, Charlie, and clarify.
I tried. You know, I was pushing I pushed my wife over for a minute. I was like, yo, babe, my babe came in. She was like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know. My mic's messed up. Y'all should have seen me, man. I'm sitting there shuffling in my room. These guys are talking to me and all this. Man, it got real wicked in 3.5 seconds. But yeah. So Jose.
No.
I think we need we need clarification on some of these updates, man. Mira,
Okay.
Loca can hear us. Loca 813. Gracias a Dios.
Gracias a Dios. He got nervous when you left. He got nervous when you left.
Yo, I
Yeah, pretty much all I heard was taka,
I
taka,
raged.
taka,
I
taka.
raged quit.
Yeah.
I rage quit.
Probably kicked the computer like he wouldn't know tomorrow.
Yo, but one time, true story. One time, Jason was like, something happened to my computer. Jason was like, yo, I think you just need to reset it. And I picked that computer up and I slammed it so hard on the ground and it reset. It worked perfectly after that.
For
True
about a
story.
week.
I don't recommend no one doing that. As my disclaimer, I don't recommend no one doing that with their products. But it ended up working for about a week. Jay's absolutely correct. And you'll hear more about that story during our, we have our interview from the devs, and I talk about how my computer got jacked up, and that was definitely that moment. But Jose, come on, let's go ahead and get that web and app updates, brother. Let's speed up people on the go, on the gusto.
Okay.
Pew,
Here we go
pew,
again.
pew,
Pow,
pew,
pow,
pow,
pow.
pow.
Look
Is
at
that what it is?
Everybody
Pew,
gets
pew,
a second
pow.
chance, Jose.
Yeah. Pew, pew, pow, pow. Okay.
Oh, man.
In
Yo, hold on.
order.
I'm about to put Jose solo dolo. There
Put him
you
solo.
go. Wepa. Oh!
Oh my goodness, you guys are
likes
crazy.
Yo, but look at that fit though.
Yo,
Show
I
off.
know, man.
He
Look at
definitely
that.
like that
looks
shirt,
a
man.
NASCAR driver, man. Look like he belonging in pits. Some
Exactly,
beat triggers on him. He about to get him all the way live. That mic on the headset and everything.
And you're off.
Come on, tell him.
Anyways, okay. So, again,
Yeah. Yeah, we love you, Jose.
all right. The cards that Jason showed off, right? Show them cards off again, Jay. Do me a favor. Show
But I
'em.
gotta talk and take the whole screen from you.
Right. Yes. Take it off. Talk.
All right.
He wants you to
Right
talk.
there.
Look at it. That's what we call.
But you're gonna
gentlemen,
talk and then
pasa
they're
la
not gonna
bola.
see it.
Pasa la
So
bola
don't talk.
in its full effect.
See, you scan that little QR code right there, and you will be taken to a link tree.
A link tree. Okay, well,
A-
what is
a
this
link
link tree
tree.
you speak of?
Okay, there we go. Okay, so
What
now
does Linktree do?
The Linktree is pretty much gives you all the links to all our social medias, all our special goodies that we have, and stuff like that. And then the one that you have to click on is the one to get the free card for the VSTI card, right? That's what it's called, the initiative.
V Street Team Initiative.
I mean, heck,
Yes,
if y'all haven't clicked on all the other ones, you might as well just go on all of our social media, right? Why stop
Well,
at just
right.
the VS,
Yeah.
the Street Team Initiative? You know, go
Yeah,
live.
Street
go
Team
on all of
Initiative
it.
also has in parentheses free card.
Yes, it does. So once you do that, it will take you to a page where you have to opt in your information, only your name and your email. Pretty much once you do that, you will be set up into our system where you will receive all of our updates. And then from there, you will receive an email.
Okay, well, what do they do with that email?
And then once you get that email, you will have to confirm your email. And once you confirm your email, you will receive another email.
It's a lot of emails.
That is a lot of
Yeah.
emails.
I was
but
gonna say, how many emails you sending us?
Hey,
What are we doing?
you gotta think about it. This is a free card. You gotta go through steps, bro. But this is for the good of the team. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying?
Facts. I can't argue that. That's just showing how much love you got for the love.
All right.
love, for
So once
love.
you get that second email, you will have to register to the site, because in order for you to be able to get the card, you will have to be registered to the site and logged in. If not, access denied. No linko for you. Ching chang poo. Nothing.
Oh, that's a new one. Ching Chang
Ching
Poo. All right,
Chang
I'm
Poo.
writing it down right now.
Ching Chung Poo. That's gonna be the counterattack.
That's gonna be like our bling bling. We don't have to copyright that.
Counterattack. Ching Chung Poo. Hi.
All right, and then once you register, you get another email to the link to get the card. Once you get the card, it's free, and you go through the process of all that stuff. I don't know. We're supposed to have. We are transparent. The card, you do have to pay for shipping. It just sucks. I mean, I'm just saying you can't do anything about it. But yeah, once you do that, you get.
All right. Wow. In that case, what are the updates on this Alteza app? This wonderful Alteza. I'm sure we got a few new people here in this stream that wants to even know about this Alteza app. What is this?
Well, right now, since I've been working with everything else with this stuff, BTSI, I've kind of been, in the back burner a little bit, but I have been on my off times when I'm laying in bed trying to see what I need to do in order for you guys to get. I mean, right now I do have it on the website. The link is pinned on the Discord, and right now it's a black background for right now, but you can still use it. It still works perfectly. You still have the dice roll. There is no taka taka yet. I am so sorry. But once I get that figured out on how to have more imagery, more show, more boom, more pow,
More
I
boom,
will
pow. Okay.
more
Kung
boom,
pow.
more pow. Yeah, man. Once I get all that, I will update everyone on it like that. Everybody can have. It'll probably end up being the same link, but
Just updated.
yeah, just update it.
Oh, gotcha. All right, so basically what Jose is saying, very modestly, you got to excuse his hand gestures. We're very musical people, so we're just throwing the hand signs all over the place. But basically our Alteza app, for those that are new, is essentially our counter system that is built for your mobile device. You can use it for computers, you can use it for your phones or laptops, whatever it is that you have electronically available, and you'll be able to keep track of all the data points in the game. So there is quite a few things to keep track of, especially when you start playing advanced mode, when you start adding weapon mods and stuff like that. For everyone that got their booster packs, congratulations, you guys should have gotten quite a few weapon mods, and now you'll be able to advance your gameplay into the advanced mode. So with those weapon mods, you'll be able to keep track of all these variables on a mobile device, or any mobile device of yours, and you'll be able to keep track of this stuff with the Alteza app. And that's essentially what Jose's working on. It is actually usable right now, and you'll be able to use that to keep track of your points. But hold on. There's more. Hold on, Mr. Jason. You got to say something on the mic now.
I'm not going to say nothing. They're not going to see it.
Oh, okay. So Ninja Gated. My man had a Ninja Vanish. So there will be another great tool to also keep track of your stuff here. Jose, if you want to put it up on your computer, we can showcase it.
Give me a second. Do the video. Blur. See?
Boom, on the mobile app. Look at that. So he actually has his mobile app. Hold on, I'm about to solo you real quick. So he does have his mobile app where it's actually on his device there. Hey, how does it work, Jose? Exactly. It's blacked out a little bit. So can you show some of the functionalities?
So pretty much once you get to the site on your phone, please, let's not have your phone like this.
Yeah.
It is a landscape type of game.
Yo, I got to give you applause for that, because that's some of the conflicts that we had with some people now that we finally showcased it. Thank you, Jose. So you definitely want to turn it sideways, right? Landscape it?
Yes, landscape it. All right, and then you have your ups and downs that work. You have your life, your shield, and your energy storage points. The cool thing about the energy storage point is that once you have yours that you have right now, and you can actually, how do you say it? Keep
the ones
track
you
of
use,
how many you use.
during the round?
Once you end turn, it turns
Go back to
into
zero. How about that?
There you go.
How about that? That's pretty cool.
All right. You have, all your first, secondary weapons, and then your resistance, and what's the other one? Durability. Then you have your dice roll. You press the dice roll, it works. Boom.
That's
No
cool.
taka
So you're
taka.
telling me you don't got to carry dice? You're telling me that it's literally all you need to have is your deck?
It's all right here.
Oh
Taka
my
taka.
gosh. You know what? Listen. We were actually going to wait until the physical card game and the tabletop area, but we actually have another device that you can actually use that will be coming out other than the mobile app to keep track of your stuff, and it's a lot less clunkier here. We're going to have Mr. Jason go ahead and showcase that really quickly. Mr. Jason,
you really want me to show these people
you
this
have to show these people, man.
I want to see.
I posted a box earlier on Patreon, and they said, "What is that?" They didn't know what it was.
All right, what is it? What is it?
This is what it is. I'm gonna show these people. Y'all ready? Y'all, let me see some bees in the chat. If
throw
I see
some bees in there.
Throw some bees in the chat. I'm
Throw
gonna show
some
y'all what we
bees
got
in there.
going in. This is something that's been requested. This is also something that I've really not seen many other games have per se in a TCG. So here you guys go. I'm gonna show y'all what we're working with. Y'all asked for it, and we figured it out.
Oh man, is that a mobile life counter?
It's a mobile life counter. How did you know?
That is crazy. So look at that. We don't need the cubes to put on top of our board. You're telling me we got something that's more user friendly. You can set it off to the side of your thing, like with the dial wheel and everything. Oh, that looks really dope. So
Yeah.
just to let you guys know, man, it on camera shows no justice. Again, those that have seen some of this can actually see how great this device actually is.
Y'all ask, we deliver.
So it is a smoked black, so it's a little bit harder to see the wheels on the inside, but it does keep track of all your life points, shield points, and your actual storage energy points on a wheel dial, which is awesome and amazing. We definitely got all that.
And if you guys look here, you see the symbols. If y'all played the game, y'all know what these symbols are.
Mm-hmm.
And they are in there nicely. They are in there nicely. And I'm gonna get the angle. Me and Brandon was trying to figure out the angles earlier so y'all could see it right.
Yeah, it's a bit challenging. You
I
might need
think
to
you
bring some
angle the
light.
top. I think you need to angle the top towards you.
Yeah, you might actually need lighting to shoot it from the back. It's pretty much translucent all around, isn't it?
Yeah, it's translucent all around.
So maybe Jason go ahead and get his phone on it.
But for those asking in the chat, it's a dial, so it has 1 through however many numbers on it.
There you go, sideways,
and then you
Jay.
just spin the dial to.
Hold on, Jay. You gotta talk. You're not on the scene.
Yep, I got you. Let me work it out. So while B's talking, man. There you go.
So it is translucent. The great thing about this too is this neon, so it'll glow in neon lights. And we're working on something else to potentially get it to self light up. We don't know yet, but we're working on some stuff. But look at them V's inside each dials, man. That thing looks tough. That looks tough, man. That's how tough that thing look.
So you guys asked and you shall receive. We work hard on the back end. I promise you guys.
Yeah, so this phase one. We got other ideas with this dial, potentially. But yeah, there it is. Another life counter, another quick mobile life counter you can carry with you. You don't need the cubes. Carry this with a set of dice.
I wish you guys could see it in person.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
It's you know, it fits right into our universe. You know, we do everything legit over here. So.
I'll tell you right now, this took us 3 to 6 months to figure out where to get it, how to find it, who to do it with. The guy sent me an email back when I finally reached out to the manufacturer, and it went straight to my spam folder. And
it was a hassle.
Yeah,
we almost gave up on it of a hassle. Let's just put it that way.
Y'all asked, and we went and found it. And I promise you, this thing right here feels solid. Like I told Charlie, said, how's it feel when you're holding it? I feel like I'm holding like the first time you held a Game Boy or the first time you held a PSP in your hand.
Wow, that's quality.
The first time you held, like, it's solid. This is not like all the edges, all the bevels, everything in here is solid. There's nothing on this that even looks like it's like not crispy. Everything on it is crispy, like all the ends, everything on it. And this is custom made.
Jay, show them in comparison to a phone on how big they are. So yours is what, a plus, or is it a max?
12 Max Pro.
A 12 Max Pro. So it's about, it's a little smaller, not by much of a 12 Max Pro as far as the size. It's a decent size. Yeah. Nice little decent size, man. It keeps track of all your...
Will it stay on the number good? Like right now, because this is the thing. They sent us multiple covers. I'm showing y'all a little extra stuff, extra plates.
So that one's a little less smoke. The other one's more black.
This is called a gray smoke. The one on here is like a black smoke. So they sent it with the black smoke on there, and then this is the gray smoke that we're gonna try this one out differently. So these little screws right here are a star style screw. So you could be we could have different front plates that you guys could change out if you wanted to in the future. So
hint.
You know, we're all about customizing and making you guys feel engaged with the product. So yeah, right now it's the middle one is super loose. Like I'll show you guys, like the ends are not as tight because we loosen them because we're going to switch it out, but we wanted to show you guys first. Like you can see, I could spin that red and it goes, but this middle one, I could not, like it's not going to move unless I move it. So the only thing that we talked about possibly doing with this is seeing if they could put a click feature in it so it clicks every time you turn it. But if they can't, it's so solid, it doesn't make a difference, man.
Yeah, especially when it's bolted tightened down.
So we got these coming. This will be
so when I'm slapping them cards down and I'm destroying my opponents, I don't have to worry about that dial moving. It's going to stay right where it needs to be.
I can see it. I can see Brandon standing up.
Sure.
Hey, I can see him standing up, grabbing that card and capicu, just slam that on top of the table. The disrespect.
Definitely, you guys asked and we found it. We figured it out, and this is out the box, up to par with what we feel a product should be like when you get it.
Yeah, we're really satisfied with it, and I'm gonna be 100% honest. we do quality control and we deal in quality control. If we did not like it, we wouldn't be showcasing it. So it's definitely quality, and it's definitely up our alley of what we wanted, and it's very nice. I mean, we were looking at other options as well. We haven't quite got lucky on some of the other options, but we're going to keep exploring the avenues, and hopefully we can get lucky with another option other than our app. So keep in mind, we got multiple different ways of keeping track of all of our values. There are games out there that basically tell you to go figure out your own pawns and figure it out yourself, right? So we're actually including a lot of these items in our game, but also got more options for you guys to be able to get your hands on. So things that we're working on, and a lot of this has been growth either built with ideas from the community, and a lot of these are just things that we're observing and what we need to go ahead and take it to that level.
Affluent's already asking how can he get one?
Listen, I have to trade. I need those Saros armors to send out to all the winners, and Charlie said that I have to give him this so that he can.
Oh dang! Now he's making me the bad guy. Well,
that's the trade-off.
I'm taking it to work on phase 2.
I'm not sure I want to. I don't think I trade the Soros for that. I mean, it's legit and all, but
I don't know. But there's only 14 Soroses. There's gonna be
plenty
of those.
I don't know about that.
There's gonna be plenty of those.
I can order more of these.
Yeah.
I got the connect now.
That Soros now isn't where it's at.
Yeah, and so everybody knows this was custom made too for our game, and they've already given us the documentation on like if we want to order bulk and stuff like that. So right now, you guys can tell us in Discord later on how many you think we should order for Kickstarter.
Yeah.
And do you think that we should put a Kickstarter logo on the back for the first ones? Do you guys think that should be something? Y'all let us know.
Yeah, so these are definitely going to be a thing, guys. They're definitely a thing. So I'm sorry that took up too much of the time, but we were already talking about life points. We're already talking about life points, so we definitely did want to showcase that tonight.
And for those who are serious about getting one, what you do is you go to the Kickstarter page, you hit the little reminder, and then when the Kickstarter goes live, you buy whatever you want.
That's it. It's just is it really that easy?
Is it really
that easy? Okay, well,
you just get it.
Well, man, Brandon, why wait? So, let's jump on to the next topic here: our tabletop sim and our physical card game updates.
Wait a second.
Oh God.
Jose didn't talk about his merch.
We got new merch, bruh.
Oh, you see what I'm saying?
Go to the website. Wait a second. We got to see this.
Zoom it in, man. Let's zoom.
Open up the site. You gotta make sure that make sure this working. Make sure that should be working.
Did we pay the bill this month?
Are the servers covered this month?
I got you. Hold on.
Wait, Charlie, we don't know if we want you to do it no more, man.
Oh, no. You just did not fire me on the spot, man.
You might go.
We might have to glitch him again.
I was gonna say you might go into glitch mode again.
I'm gonna glitch y'all. Y'all about to get glitched up. All right, here we go. So we got the website up. The glitcher. So merch. Let's hit that merch store.
This is our website.
Yeah, for those that have not seen our website, this is our website. You guys can definitely visit us at www.vanquisherstcg.com. Make sure that you guys register. And this here at the top right corner is where you're going to want to go ahead and register. Go ahead and sign in and create your account. There's a lot of personalization in the back end. You can upload your own photos. You can upload your own backgrounds, add a little bio about yourself. I mean, it is much more than just a registering website. We're actually making this an entire platform that's going to be usable for a multitude of different things. Tournaments. We're going to be using this for keeping track of tournaments that you've been into. People that are planning on hosting tournaments. Jose's loves when I do that right? Hosting tournaments. We'll get you guys a registered account. Make sure that you guys can actually host tournaments during your LGSs. Blogs. We're going to be doing tradings. There's going to be all kinds of things. And this is going to be our interverse. Let's go. I like that. Why don't we call this our interverse, no? It's in between everything, right? It's going to have a little... This might be the interverse.
Everything's going to have
Y'all jump right into the interverse, man. Go ahead and get into it. But let me go ahead and stop rambling.
Let's merchiverse.
Let's go right into the merchiverse. Wait. Here we go.
Right there, that first shirt, of course, is none other than
that first shirt. We're gonna talk about this real quick.
We gotta talk about this. Where did this art come from, Jay?
That Pop Ninja.
Big shout out, big shout out to Pop Ninja. Do y'all know Pop Ninja? I know Pop Ninja. Jose, you know Pop Ninja?
I know. Yes.
What is this card? This is actually the art from one of our cards.
that this is the solar flare, right? That
Solar
Pop Ninja
S
actually
flare. Did you hear that little Spanish?
solar.
Solar S flare. So, this is the solar flare art. This is the solar flare card. And so the solar flare card, Charlie's gonna find it. He's gonna show you guys. If you got the booster packs, the solar flare is in the new booster packs that everybody got. So those new ones that for the people who have them, you can see them. So we have a local artist in the community named Pop Ninja. If y'all don't know Pop Ninja, he's an awesome guy. He's on the West Coast. We did a giveaway. We took his artwork. So he took Charlie's artwork and then did a rendition of his artwork with his own artwork style. And we have this design right here. It's called the Solar Pop Tee.
The Solar Pop Tee.
I know y'all like
I got a mess going on all over here.
It's all good. Take your time. We'll keep talking. So with that being said, I did a little bit of 3D on it, made it a little glitchy looking to fit, our stuff. I kind of wanted. I come from the 90s, 80s, so I threw a little Coogee feel to the design.
So this here is actually the signatured. Look at that. He even gave it my name. Look at that. Look at that. And there is his actual artwork that he drew. Now this isn't digital. My man's did this by hand. And so that's the shirt to go along with it, right there on the actual website, man.
So we did it because we're all about community and we're all about giving back to everybody. And Pop really was one of the first community creators that really backed us up and really gave us a lot of love. So this is just homage to him. He already got one of the shirts. We did a giveaway with him that ended yesterday, and I can't say his username on Instagram right, but he just joined our it's Douglas. He just joined our Discord, and he won one of the shirts as well. So we're sending him out a shirt today. Was sent out, and we're sending him out a Saigon Rage card for participating in that giveaway. So this is our new Solar Pop Tee designer shirt that's up. It has his signature on it. Pop's signature's on the bottom right, as you can see. In the bottom left, we got the Vanquisher logo in there. We didn't want to make it too much, so it's all kind of mixed into the design. So if you guys are interested in getting this shirt, go ahead and check it out. And
was it Frank Y? Frank Y? Was it Frank Y? His name? Or was that someone else?
Pop Ninja.
No, you said you couldn't pronounce his name. The guy who won the shirt.
No, it's not that person. It's like Lamiatad or something like that.
Yeah, it's like LLA sound. It's
LLA.
actually like a
Not
Ja.
like-
It's a Ja name.
So he won it. He joined the Discord, and we're sending him. You already sent the shirt out for him. We're sending him a Saigon Rage card, and just thank you, Pop Ninja. This is just homage to him for supporting us from the beginning and always having our back. He wants to really see us at Long Beach, but we have another convention down here in Tampa that we are going to be at. So that's the first design. Now, Jose, you can take the rest.
Oh, that was a short spiel.
I keep it quick for Jose.
Hold on now. I just lost the Vanquishers site. I done X'd out of it. Look at Charlie dropping the bomb. There we go.
Que estamos del carajo. And now we have, as a second item, we do have the distressed dad hats, brand new. Puff logos will hopefully be on there.
3D Puff.
3D Puff should be on that.
It's custom faded.
Pretty much custom faded. We
left that bad boy in the sun just for you.
We dragged it on the streets.
Oh, I like that tan.
You left it next to the solar flare. Is what you did.
Yeah, something like that. Solar flare.
All right, next item.
Oh, the next one is the golden ticket shirt. It's a shirt. It's the golden ticket shirt because we put the gold V on there. I know we have a contest going out there right now, right? With the advanced book.
Yes.
One of the
Jose know what he's talking about.
Oh, he does.
Jose know what he's talking about.
You're
That's
lying.
the golden ticket shirt.
That's
Yeah.
So yeah, you can get your golden ticket shirt. Now we have a fitted hat.
Oh, we're talking about. Oh, we got fitted now.
Yeah,
Wait, we talking about fitted? We talking about snapped it?
We got snapped it. My bad. I'm sorry.
I was confused. I was like, "What? We got fitted? I'm buying right now."
we got that one. I edited that one from the original because now I figured out how to get the hats to be puffed. So
Oh,
that's
so
actually
these
a
are now
puffed
3D
hat now.
puffed.
Yeah, they're all 3D puffed now.
Wow. All right. Well,
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna end up ordering some of these then.
So
Ooh,
you
that's
just
solid
saw
red though.
that is the white logo for it, and the other
The other one's the black one.
and the other one's the black one.
Ah, okay, okay. Ooh, that blacked out one looks actually kind of.
No, I'm gonna get that camo.
I know you ain't gonna get. You don't wear hats, man. Stop it.
You were wearing a hat this weekend.
Oh, was you? Where was I at?
You know,
Oh,
I gotta represent, man. You know, I'm clout chasing over
I
here.
put it
Got the
on for
black
my. Ooh,
on
that black.
black.
That black. Oh, that one looks really nice. Ooh, that black camo.
Ooh,
one.
that black and
Ooh,
red.
this one hands down. Hands down.
Ooh, that black and gray.
Yo,
Okay, all right.
that-
I'm liking
that's
some of
tough right
these. I
there.
am actually liking some of these here.
All
Uh-oh.
right.
Next T-shirt.
These are the mini 8-bit.
Oh, that one look like-
Raskin
Yeah, it look like little Raskin. Look at him in there, that little rascal.
with the gold V.
Oh, the golden V.
With the golden V, and then the next one will be Cyber.
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 Salud.
Salud.
Oh wow, I like that gray version of it.
So all the
So,
different
yeah.
ones have different color V's for the different heroes that are on there. So basically, they just represent an assassin, sentinel, and a conjurer. So they are not specifically. They were based off some old art design work, but they're basically those three different classes on those.
And just to let you guys know, we will be removing the Saigon's Rage. What, at the end of August will it be?
We're looking at the designs that are up. We're going to be rotating out. So the 8-bits are probably going to be out after August, and then the new designs will go up after August, and then the designer shirts for the Saigon Rage will probably be up until the Kickstarter starts.
All right.
And
Well,
then, and hopefully by next week or so, we should have the Veil and the Slores posters up. I need to talk to Charlie about that after.
yeah.
But yes,
We'll get those
next week,
on up. That'd be
we'll
nice.
have them up.
Get some arts. Y'all been asking for it. We're gonna give it. We're gonna give it. All right, you guys. So let's go ahead and is that pretty much it, Jose? Before you interrupt me again.
Like always.
Like always. All right, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and jump onto the tabletop simulator and the physical card game updates. Mr. Brandon's gonna go ahead and fill you guys in on what we do on a weekly basis with the actual physical game and the updates with that. Mr. Brandon, go ahead and let the community know.
Listen, people. Every Sunday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know why it says AM on the Trello, but it's PM. 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
It does.
I am on either TTS or I'm playing live via webcam. So for those of you who got the test decks, for those of you who got the booster packs, and you're saying, man, I ain't got nobody to play with, well, you got me. You got other people in the community. All you got to do is just drop a comment somewhere inside the Discord, either in the physical game or the tabletop chat, and somebody is always down to play. Usually I'm down to play.
Yeah, usually that's the bat signal. That's the bat signal.
So but for sure, if I'm not able to get on during the week, every Sunday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm playing, usually streaming, so anyone can come in and watch. If you don't want to play and you just want to learn how to play, or maybe you just want to watch me lose, whatever you want to do, just
hop
come
on.
in. Yeah, just hop on, come check us out. And so on to the next thing. I just mentioned those test decks. The text decks are done. They're shipped, the second wave. Everyone should be getting them now. And for those of you who already have the test decks, play. They're there for a reason. They're there to be tested. That's why they're called the test decks. Play, and then give us feedback and let us know what we screwed up on, because we're trying to get this game to as close to 100% when we hit the Kickstarter. We want to iron out every single wrinkle that there is to iron out. We want to make sure that if there's anything that you're not understanding, that you're confused about, if maybe we made a typo and we spelled something wrong, whatever you see, let us know. All good feedback. all that is good criticism, and we definitely enjoy it. We need it. It's what helps us build stronger, bigger, better. So test.
Yeah, so let's keep it real. Y'all seen our state of the games. We make mistakes. So expect for it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And to be honest, you know, a good chunk of the things that we have fixed about the game has come from the community.
Facts.
You know, it's been things that we've overlooked and other people have caught. You know, when we're looking at this game all day, every day, we just start assuming things.
Right.
You know, we're reading things that aren't even there. We're just assuming it's saying what it's saying, or we're thinking it's spelled right, or we're thinking that it makes sense to us, so it should make sense to everyone else. So your feedback, it really is golden. It's what helps us get better, get stronger, and get us closer to having a 100% game once Kickstarter drops.
Rock solid. All right, Mr. Brandon. I think the other things we want to cover today is going to require us.
I could cover one last thing. If you want to go ahead and jump into the tabletop, I'm gonna cover the grenades. A while ago, we talked about grenades. We talked about the class grenades. So you got the solar grenades that are out right now, and you got the glacier grenades out right now, as well as there's other grenades for other different classes, energy classes. We were talking about naming all of them grenades and then putting them as the subtitle, whether it was a glacier, solar, so on and so on. And that way you could only carry 4 in your deck. Well, after some extensive testing, after talking to the community, after talking amongst ourselves, we decided that we are going to leave it as is. So you will have your standard grenades where you could put up to 4. And if you're running a glacier hero, then you can put up to 4 glacier grenades. So you can have a possibility of putting up to 8 grenades in your deck if you really wanted to. So I think that's going to be a good look for the community. I think that's going to be a good look for the game. And I hope you guys are happy with that, because, you know, you're all the ones who've given us the feedback. Like I said, we're listening. We hear you guys, and we're making
8
moves.
grenades in your build, that's a lot. You gotta sacrifice a lot for 8 grenades.
It's a lot, but you got to think the way good, you know, if you're shuffling the deck and the way the hand plays out, what are the odds are you going to play all those grenades?
Yeah,
some of those grenades are going to get exiled.
Yeah.
You know, some of those grenades probably going to, you know, not get used at all. So,
and it's not always sustainable damage. That's the thing about our game. Like the fact that you can recover shields. I mean, it's good DD, it's good direct damage, but it's not the sustainable damage like weapons. Weapons, there's every round sustainable. Grenades are used to support the damage, to help if they do recover shields.
Yep.
To help bring that on back.
We are really listening to you guys, and when you guys make, you know, suggestions, comments, concerns, we look into it. And grenades is something that we looked extensively into, and we decided we thought we were going to change it, and we decided, you know what, we're not going to change it. It's good the way it is, and people are enjoying it the way it is, and that's what matters the most, is gameplay.
That's it. Facts. Let's jump right into speaking of gameplay, let's jump right into the tabletop sim board really quickly. Bam!
Let's do it.
All right, let's get right into it. All right, so today we're going to cover a couple of things that we've had questions about. Brandon, I do not have, hold on one second. I don't have the Trello up, so you might have to kind of guide us through.
I got the Trello up. So the first thing we're going to talk about is let's talk about some armors, Charlie.
Armor. Okay, let's jump right into it. So we got the Suros here. We're going to talk a little bit about, considering that it's the standard Suros. It's not the energy.
And just to not to cut you off, Charlie. The reason why we're getting into some of this stuff is because we just sent out the advanced booster packs. So a lot of you are getting these advanced cards, and you might have questions about how to play them. When we sent out the test decks, we sent them with the standard rules. Mm-hmm. And some of you don't like the QR code.
Well,
some of you don't like going to the website.
The advance is on the back. the advance is on the back.
Oh, the advance is on the back.
That's right. Okay. Yeah. So it does briefly talk about these features.
Okay.
But doesn't go in extensive detail. So I mean, we do got a little overview of how to use them.
We just since we're putting the advanced cards out there now, we want to make sure that we briefly touch on it. So, you know, and if you have any questions, drop them down in the chat, and then we'll answer them as we're going through this stuff.
Yeah, so if you guys do have the sheet, it will be in the actual back of the actual sheet. So here it just talks a little bit about the card. Here we'll talk a little bit about the actual mods, and then the armor. Actually, the Suros armor is actually on there, but it'll give. I'm sorry, I'm sure that's solo.
Hey, you know what's funny is I'm the one who did those rules, and I'm talking about there ain't no advanced.
No advanced rules for you guys. Now, it's actually will be on the back side of this sheet. So as you guys get in, you open it up, it'll all be right here in the back. It'll show you a little bit in detail of the class card that we typically tell you guys to kind of set aside. It gives you a little bit about the armor cards, and then it explains a little bit about the mods, the weapon mods that you'll get. But we're going to kind of go through a verbal overview for you guys, just to kind of give you guys an overview of what you're looking at. All right, Mr. Brandon, what are we looking at here as far as the Suros?
So we're what we want to look at is we want to look at the stats real quick.
Right.
And then we want to put it on the board and show how it actually plays, how it works.
Okay, so first thing we want to look at is going to be the cost values are always going to be at the top left corner. So this specific armor will increase your hero's total shield points to a higher shield point value. It'll actually mitigate. So this is the damage resistance. So any incoming damage, it'll take 3 away from that damage incoming. And then, of course, this here's the durability. This will be how long and how many hits the actual armor can take before the armor breaks. So the way that looks in actual game is your hero card is obviously going to be placed over here, right? So when your hero card is placed in its slot, you're going to go ahead and get your armor. And when your armor plays, your armor is going to actually play right here off to the left side of it. And then you'll just place it under. So your armor will actually be placed right here. So the great thing about that is, on the side of the board, we have a durability counter. And you would take your yellow cube that will be included with your kits, or you can use pretty much anything really as a counter. But if you didn't have your yellow cube, you can just use anything as your counter. So in this case, it'll have 5 durability. You can go ahead and place that right there. Or the app. Yep. Again, the app will keep track of your durability. The great thing is about this actual feature is your shields will be lined up amongst each other, so that way you'll know what your shield increase would be, and then your durability, and then your resistance, and then the durability. So as your hero takes damage, if he got shot by one gun that dealt 3 damage, you'd actually take 0 damage, but your armor would be taking damage every time it gets hit.
So real quick, if you got 14 energy shield and you equip this armor, then you're going to be going up to 16 energy shield.
Immediately.
You're going to add those 2 energy shield.
Which is good, because then if you do take that damage directly, it'll wipe those 2 free points from you, and you don't got to worry about it. If your armor breaks, it doesn't matter, because those points would have been taken from you anyway. So it's a good little additive that'll actually it'll give to you. So hopefully that's pretty much an overview of that, of how to use the armor cards. They're all pretty much the same. Certain armors will have different stats, so you do want to kind of pay attention to that. And if you have any questions of any of these icons that are on the actual cards itself, we do include on our quick guide on the actual back side of it. Let me see if I can flip that. Oh, there they are. Boom. Let me see if I can turn my camera around. We do include these with the actual decks. We'll explain what every icon is, and I know it looks a bit overwhelming. A lot of little icons. But it'll explain what those actual icons are. And then a quick tutorial video, QR scanner, if you want to watch how to play the game in a tutorial format. All right, so next thing we want to go through, Mr. Brandon.
All right, so the next thing we want to go through is the energy class card.
All right, energy
because
class.
When you're in advanced mode, you're going to need an energy class.
So this is the card typically when you're playing standard that we explain for you guys to set aside, right? This is the dark class order card. Most of you guys is either using Glacier or you're using Solar, right?
So can I use Glacier, we're asking?
Absolutely not. You most certainly can.
Oh.
So the way you see that is, if you take your hero card real quick, you'll notice at the bottom corner here will show you the icon of what that hero can actually use. Then it also explains it right here of what class they are. So you'll be able to know what class they are based off that. So in this case, he is the dark class. The dark icon is located right here at the very top corner. So that way it's reflective. So that way you'll know it's reflecting what the hero can use. And then, of course, the icon that's just so huge and just on the center point.
All right. I got another question for you. I see it says it has a value of 2. So I got to pay 2 in order to use my class card?
Ooh, it's getting better and better. I like these questions here. So the 2 value, absolutely not. You actually get to play this card for free. Now, the reason why there are values on some of these actual cards is because certain characters can switch classes in the middle of a fight. So with that being said, you can actually load your deck with class cards and be able to switch their energy classes in the middle of a fight. So if your weakness once was Glacier, it may not be your weakness anymore if you switch to Solar, or if you switch to Dark in the middle of a fight.
So what do you mean I get to play this card for free then? What does that mean?
So the way that looks like at the start of the game, actually you wouldn't have had armor, you would have already played. So if during advanced mode, you'd actually place this card right here under the energy class slot. So in the energy class slot that's located right here, you'll simply just grab this card and you'll place it right underneath. Now,
so this is how you're starting off the game, guys. You're starting off with your hero and the class card, and then all your deck will be to the side and shuffled.
Correct. So what you want to look for in this mode, now the reason why this changes the whole fight from this point on is because now your character will have resistance and weakness, right? So these are important to pay attention to. And I know that some people has been getting a little bit of confusion with this system. So we want to kind of just clarify this a little bit. So as you can see here, his weakness is actually a different class that we have not talked about yet, that is actually won't be available until a little later. But this is the light order. So he would actually take ×2 damage from any light damage, where his resistance is actually dark. So if he's fighting his own class, he's actually going to mitigate a lot of the dark damage. So he actually wouldn't take too much dark damage inflicted to himself. So these are things you want to kind of pay attention to, because certain weapons deal energy class damage. Certain grenades will deal energy class damage. And so energy class damage is essentially kinetic damage just with a modifier, if that makes any sense. With that being said...
Yeah, so like you were saying, Charlie, it's going to be your energy class damage. So if it's solar damage, glacier damage, it's going to be just like kinetic damage. The difference is if that's your opponent's weakness, you're going to be doubling the amount of damage you're doing with that energy class damage.
Correct. So as an example, we have an energy grenade here, right? We have an actual energy class grenade. So in this case here, which was placed in the wrong spot, it actually will be played over here. So in this case here, with an energy grenade, this grenade itself will actually deliver dark damage, as you can see right here under the proximity mine, right? So if you use this as a proximity mine, which is something that we're going to talk about a little bit more detail in a second, this would deliver 2 dark damage. But if this was actually your opponent targeting Raskin with this grenade, he would actually mitigate 2 of that damage. So that actual proximity wouldn't take too much of an additional effect to Raskin directly. He would actually resist it. If that makes any sense. I don't know.
That makes total sense. So
okay.
if you use this card against Raskin as a proximity mine, you're going to be pretty much not doing those 2 dark damage.
Right, he'll be mitigating quite a bit of that damage. Now, exactly. As far as energy
he'll
shield,
be resisting that.
As far as the energy shield and the kinetic, he's going to obviously take on, but that additional damage that you would want to deliver wouldn't work too well. But if it was his weakness, that 2 would have multiplied, so you would have actually delivered an additional 4 damage just from that one proximity mine. So with that being said, let's talk a little bit about the grenade itself, setting it up for proximity or trap, right? So as a standard grenade, you're going to have 2 options to use this grenade, right? Of course, it'll always have a V-trigger perk to the grenade. So you will have to be V-trigger to be able to utilize that 3rd perk. So sometimes you're going to want to hold on to these grenades specifically. Neutral grenades don't have it, so you pretty much want to just chuck them as you get them. But this one here, you could play 2 different ways. You can either play it as a grenade, which if you do play it as a grenade itself, active immediately, which means you place it on the board and immediately going to deal this damage. But you can also roll a die. So if you get a 4 or 6, you could deliver 1 additional kinetic damage to the enemy, right? So that's just going to be standard kinetic damage. But if you play it as a proximity mine, which allows you to play it as a trap card, you can flip the card over, and then that's when you can actually deal the 2 additional dark damage to the actual enemy. that is targeting you. So as soon as you get targeted, immediately it'll proc this mine and it'll set off to your opponent. So simply you'll just flip it over and you'll put your 3 trap indicator card above it, and then it's already set for proximity.
Nice.
I'm loving it.
All right. All right. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask us on our Discord or anywhere to that nature. So we'll be more than happy to explain that in a little bit more detail. Or if you just need one-to-one sessions, Brandon's really good at explaining all these things. He can actually help you out with that. So
I'll walk you through it.
One more major thing we want to talk about is going to be our side effects. Okay. So.
Well, we got 2 more things.
Oh, 2 more. I'm bugging. So should we jump on the side effects, or is there something before that?
Let's talk about energy or mods, weapon mods.
Weapon mods, yes.
Weapon mods.
I don't even think I pulled out any of the weapons.
What type of mods? Just go into the booster pack.
Boom, I got one.
Here. So what type of mods we have? The 2 different type of mods we have, and then how they can be played.
We actually
how many we can play?
I think we have 3 different type of mods.
They're asking what's the 3rd symbol on the grenade.
3rd symbol is the V trigger, the one at the very bottom.
Or are you talking about the area of effect? So there's a couple.
This symbol.
Yes.
Okay, so that one is an area of effect or splash damage. So there will be an expansion mode or another game mode that is called Carnage, or pretty much anything Carnage in all the other game modes is multiplayer. So this game is designed and will be released to where you can play with allies. So you'll be able to play side by side with your deck and an ally's deck and another ally's deck.
So in another mode, when I'm hitting you with this grenade, you would apply all the damage to that person that I'm hitting, but all your teammates would take that splash damage pretty much of 2.
Yeah, it's pretty much taking additional damage to the other players to kind of decondition them. So anytime you see that icon,
area of effect.
It's an area of effect, correct. AoE. Hopefully that answers that question. All right. So we could jump right into the weapon mods, I believe. Let me double check here and see if I had any more in the box. I think.
And when I said 2 types of mods, I didn't mean specifically there's only 2 types of mods. I mean there's the energy class mods, and then there's your standard mod.
Oh, there's a lot of mods, not just standard.
Well, I mean,
there's like every subclass has mods.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, right. I don't even know if
you can play a weapon mod to attach to your weapon, and then you can play an energy class mod as well.
There it is. Boom, found an energy mod. Well, no, you could play multiple mods on your weapon. You could do an underbarrel, or these 2 are 2 underbarrels. That won't work. I'm looking at Jason's deck.
So that's what we're gonna get into. We need to clarify these questions, Charlie. What can we play? How many can we play?
Okay, so I'm gonna have to use this pistol here. Wait, does this attach to a pistol? Absolutely not. How about those apples? All right, well, let's use this the phalanx. Phalanx will work. And let me just get ammo just to kind of make this look more rock solid. So let's assume we had our phalanx fully armed and all set, ready to rock and roll, right? So we have the 2 ammo meeting the ammo requirement. So now we want to modify this weapon. So I got 2 mods here. Actually, I have more than 2 mods. Actually, I had what was the Phoenix's Eye. So we have a couple of mods here. Take a look at. So first thing we want to look at with these mods is, does this mod attach to my weapon? Very important to notice. So at the very bottom will let you know what weapons this gun can attach to. So it looks like this mod can attach to auto rifles, snipers, SMGs, and SMG shotguns, and handguns. Which actually I think we're changing those terms around. We gotta make sure we're rock solid. We noticed that certain guns say pistols and certain guns say handguns, but they were all intended to be handguns.
So if you see a weapon that says pistol, or you see a mod that says pistol, it's
intended for handgun. Yeah. So we're fixing all that. So in this case, handgun is actually correct.
And that's thanks to you guys.
Yes.
And all those questions and all that test plan.
Again, yes. So now we got a mod here that is the Suros bipod, but it only attaches to 2 different weapon types. It'll only attach to an auto rifle or a sniper. Right? So, and then of course we have our energy mod, which is great because every class has their own energy mods, and this is where damage can really dish out some serious, you can really dish out some serious damage with this. And when you attach this mod, so attaching this mod to any equipped weapon, all energy damage is now dark damage. So it'll actually turn the gun's energy damage. Any energy damage that it inflicts will now deliver the energy class damage of its type. So if that was your enemy's weakness, just imagine the multiplicative damage. So you have converted energy shield damage that only deals shield damage now can deal damage to their life points. Like, you're just converting it all over. So this is a very powerful mod to have on your weaponry. So this one here pretty much modifies any ranged weapon, any melee weapon, any critical art, or any hand-to-hand weapon, which are all the subclasses plus the actual primaries. So this can attach to any weapon. This is a very powerful universal mod you're going to definitely want to get your hands on. So many mods to choose from. Other things you want to pay attention to are the icons, right? Very top corners are going to have icons. So in this case, this one has an underbarrel icon. This one also has an underbarrel icon. Can I equip two of these same icons on one weapon? You cannot. You can only have the different icons is what can be attached to the actual weapon itself. So I don't think I have a mod with the different icon, but I'm going to go ahead and show you real quick what the other icons look like. So this here's the range underbarrel mod. This one here is, this one's the underbarrel mod. This one's the range scope mod. This one is the barrel mod. So these are the three different icons for ranged weaponry that you'll have to pay attention to, and you can only equip two different ones onto that weapon. We're talking like we have vehicles here. So onto that weapon, you can only attach to two different ones. So in this case here, though I have an auto rifle, which we can simply confirm that it's an auto rifle by paying attention right here at the bottom right, in the middle corner of the actual card. We'll let you know what kind of weapon type it is. So once you have confirmed that, you could simply just grab the mods, which in this case, we can only use one of these two because they're two of the same types. I would probably end up equipping personally, I'd probably end up equipping the laser, because in this case, I don't lose any kinetic damage, but I gain 2. Where in this one, I'm going to lose kinetic damage, but I would gain 1 more targeting. But I don't want to lose damage. So I would end up equipping this mod, which now increases the standard targeting of 7 now becomes 2 more. So 7, 8, 9 targeting. Which is huge, guys. I know it doesn't seem like much, but in this game, that is everything. 1 additional is everything in this game. So in this case now, I'm going to go ahead and modify it 1 more time, because each weapon can be modified up to 2 times. So you can have up to 2 different mods. So I'll go ahead and add this energy damage to it. So we're going to go ahead and place this energy mod damage.
What if I had a glacier mod damage with Raskin? Could I play that?
Oh, absolutely. Any weapon can be modified with multiple different energy types. So you can actually add multiple different elements to your gun itself. So if you are fighting multiple heroes, you got a dark hero and you got a solar hero, but you want to throw glacier at this guy when you target him to multiply that damage, but then you also got Solaris and you want to hit him with some kind of dark damage. I wouldn't know why, because that's not his weakness, but just throw it out there. And you can actually just straight go energy mods on a gun. Multiple different energy mods, and that's the craziness of this game. So with this being said, you just added 3 energy dark damage to this weapon now. So this weapon is now going to deliver 3 energy dark damage, and also with 2 different with 2 additional targeting. That's how I modified this weapon itself, the Phalanx.
So we can't put 2 underbarrel mods. So I couldn't put another laser on there, but could I put 2 energy class mods?
Yes. Different symbols, different types.
Thank you for being that quick.
And then even if the hero's a dark hero, you could still add any other mod energy to your weapons. Is that correct?
From any mods.
Yeah, so if you wanted to do a glacier mod with a dark hero, like Raskin.
No. The classed hero can only use his class types. So this bridges the gaps between Vanquishers, because they're limited or limitless to what they can use. So a Vanquisher themselves, I'm sorry if that might have caused a gray area here. So he can only have in his deck what he can use. So if it's dark, he can only use the dark. So unless he's the actual class of choice, which Vanquishers are capable of doing, you can multi-add different energy mods to those weaponry.
And I think the answer to that question is no. You're saying that I can put 2 of these dark energy mods on the same weapon.
No, you cannot.
Okay.
It's the exact same icon. I apologize.
All right.
You cannot have two of the same icon weapons on the same card. I apologize. No, you cannot.
You lie.
I lie. Yes. But you can absolutely have 4 in your deck, but you can only modify that one gun with that one. Now you can modify another gun with the mod, but you can't modify that same gun with doubling up the energy damage mod.
So in other words, guys, is if I'm a dark class hero, I can only use the dark energy mod.
Correct.
All right, and I can't put more than one dark energy mod per weapon. Only one per weapon. As far as the weapon mods, I can't put 2 underbarrels. I can't do 2 scopes, and I can't do 2 barrel mods. I have to choose an underbarrel and maybe a scope.
Correct.
Or maybe
barrel.
I do a scope and a barrel.
Right.
But I can't do 2 barrels, 2 scopes, or 2 underbarrels.
So this is where we talk about how the open sandbox just gets so personal at this point with the game, because there's so many different mods out there to choose from, and the builds that you can put together, it becomes very personal. So you're just taking the standard phalanx from out the box and modifying it to your playstyle. Whether if you want to deal more damage, whether if you want to make sure that gun targets and hits every single time, you have the open sandbox to create that weapon of choice in the middle of combat on the fly.
Right.
If you feel like right now you're targeting you're targeting the enemy pretty good, switch the mod out. Switch the mod to more of a higher damage mod, and just go ahead and just deal some heavy damage to the enemy. That's the beautiful thing.
Maybe you play the Soros bipod, and it takes away a damage, but maybe you play a barrel that increases the damage.
Offsets. Yeah.
So it'll offset what the bipod does. All right. So you can play those 2 different mods because one's a barrel mod and one's a underbarrel.
So the next question is, so if you're a Vanquisher, can they use a dark mod and a glacier mod on their weapon at the same time?
They would have to be whatever class they are.
Yeah.
So if they start off in one class as glacier and they have a glacier mod on their weapon, what happens if they switch to solar in the middle? And can they keep that glacier on there, or they have to pull it off that?
It'll be discarded. Yeah. Unfortunately, it would have to get discarded because they're no longer wielding that class. So it's similar to weapon mods, and I don't know if we talked about this, but if you discard this weapon, the mods are going to go with it.
Oh, I thought those mods get shuffled back into your
deck. They get shuffled back in your hand. I apologize. Yes, that was what it is. So you don't lose the mods. You'll lose the weapon. The mods will then return back into your deck. You'll shuffle your cards back into your deck to be able to siphon them back out to be able to use them.
So let's clarify this. If I'm a Vanquisher and I switch my class, then those energy mods from that class are going to get discarded.
Correct. This card immediately will get discarded.
But if I'm just swapping out the weapon gets discarded and the mods get shuffled back into my deck.
Correct.
All right.
Sounds like a bit much.
No, that's why we're going over this.
I think
a lot of questions, and again,
make sure we clarify. I think as the game gets played, just like it was a bit intimidating to play the standard mode, you start to get the grasp of it. Once you're already in the flow of it, it's just gonna come. It's gonna just come natural to you. And this is what we want to stress about a Vanquisher. Vanquishers are limited. They're not limitless. I don't want to say, and I know I said that earlier, but basically what I meant is that you can literally take a Vanquisher and make a custom crazy build with that character, with allowing them to use a different energy type, but they're still bound to the class of choice, just like any other character would be, but they can alter that in the middle of combat. How often can that happen? I'm going to be honest with you. We've tried it, and you cannot switch classes often like that and make it effective in combat. I mean, maybe 2 at the most, but if you think you're going to put every class in your deck and pull that off effectively, I'll take that. More power to you. More power to you.
If you can figure out, we tried to figure out how to make it work, and it backfired every single time. Yeah. Maybe you can, and to be honest, there's always that one person who's gonna break the game. So you'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah. So And again, you will need to support that class. Like, right? Don't it have to be logical? Like, you're going to need all of the energy class types.
Exactly.
You're going to need all the ammo. I mean, you're going to need all of the abilities. You know, like, you're going to be looking at a very heavy deck. So, to pull that off is going to be very challenging. But basically, what the platform of having a Vanquisher is, it just gives you the true wide open sandbox to do a little bit more than what the structured hero is designed within his parameters, right? So you can have a dark Saigon, you can have a solar Saigon, you can have a glacier Saigon if you wanted, right? And then you can start using those abilities that are pertaining to this class, because now he's a dark Saigon. He could use dark class weaponry and dark class mods and dark class abilities. It isn't always... We give you guys the capability to alter your class in the middle of a fight. And the reason for that is for another game mode more so than anything, because we're going to be fighting, let's be honest, we're going to have an incursion mode where you're going to be fighting a raid boss. And the raid boss is usually elemental shift, or they'll have enemies that'll be specific energy types. And you don't want to be stuck in a specific energy type and keep taking the multiplicative damage. You might want to switch that in the middle of combat. That's more strategy based more so than anything. But again, those strategies are also going to be used in the singular 1-to-1. Is it viable? Is it really usable? I don't think so.
I don't think so. Yeah,
I don't think so. But if you can pull it off, it's designed to work. So and it is pre-designed. Again, there's features on our cards that were pre-designed for future games. So these cards are also going to be utilized for other game modes. All right, so let's go ahead and cover the one more thing. Hopefully that answers your question, guys. We're gonna cover one more thing that's been creating a little bit of confusion, and that's some of the side effects. So we want to talk really quickly.
Some of those class-based effects.
Yeah. So real quick, let's talk about some of these effects. So we don't have to talk too much about glitch because we don't have tech classes out yet, but we're gonna talk more so about burn, frozen, and I guess we could talk a little bit about curse. You want to talk about curse since it's dark? We do have dark. A shock is another thing we're not going to worry about. That's not going to be coming out until a little bit of expansion. But so first thing I want to talk about really quickly is cursed. It's pretty self-explanatory. The enemy cannot use storage energy points while they're cursed. So when they're cursed, they can't use their storage points, which means they can't activate anything, right? So they're pretty much in a tough spot, in a pretty tough spot, and it's a real strong way to take advantage of someone. Conjurers that has a lot of storage points and want to activate crazy, but they can't because they're cursed, right? So that's a cool side effect. Curses definitely come with grenades, and there are some abilities that dark classes do that they can curse you with. Let's talk about frozen. Again, frozen is pretty self-explanatory, right? Enemies cannot target or counterattack when they're frozen, but they can still play all their cards. They can still activate abilities. They can do what they can do. They can actually even still direct damage you. They just can't shoot you, right? So they can still throw a grenade at you. They can energy blast you, energy shield, whatever type of DD damage they're going to deal, they can still deal those. And their traps will proc too. Just won't allow you to counterattack. So if you have any guns or weaponries that are equipped that counterattack, it won't allow it to counterattack. So let's talk a little more so about burn, right? We really want to clarify burn in this entire thing here, because I don't know if we've explained it well enough, and I don't know if the explanation it explains it well enough, and if it doesn't, please let us know, right? So basically the way burns work is that the enemies are set on fire and take 1 solar damage at the beginning of their turn. Now, if it was their weakness, they'll take 2 solar damage at the beginning of their turn, right? Burn durations can stack up to 4 turns. So essentially what this is that if your enemy is on fire, let's just play this, I don't know, let's just role play something really quickly. Let's say you did some kind of fire ability, right? So you did some kind of ability that automatically sets them on fire. That's 1, right? And so let's say you got the Ardent, and you did some crazy solar blast, and you set them on fire again. Boom, that's 2 stacks right there. Then you had another ability that did something pretty wicked and set them on fire 1 more time. Boom, that's 3, right? So now the opponent is currently set on fire. And why that's important for a solar class, because there's other synergy cards that allows you to deal a lot more damage to an enemy when they're on fire, right? So now you end turn, and the opponent's turn goes, they only lose 1 of the side effect. So they're still on fire. But the opponent will take that 1 damage for being on fire. Unless it's their weakness, they'll obviously take 2 damage, right? So here comes your turn again, and you decide to target the enemy again. You hit him with another fire ability, which I don't know how often this is going to happen. This is just me playing in a perfect world, right? You just got all your solar stuff. Boom, you set him on fire. You hit him with the Ardent again, and you set him on fire one more time. Boom, they're at max capacity of solar burn. Now at this turn, it's their turn. They'll take 1 damage. And let's say the next turn you didn't manage to do very much. You set a couple traps. You decided not to target. They take another damage. Or 2 if it's their weakness, right? But they're still on fire, which is where the synergy occurs.
And this, guys, is at the beginning of your opponent's turn. So if you burn your opponent, then at the beginning of their turn, they would take that solar damage, and say it was only lasting 1 turn, then they would no longer be burned.
Correct. So if they've only been burned once, so let's say they're not burned right now, and you use the Ardent and you set them on fire, they'd be burned, but now they're in the fired state. And that firing state and condition allows the solar class to deal more damage in most cases to someone when they're on fire. Similar to Glacier. When they're frozen, certain abilities synergize with the opponent being frozen to deal more damage, right? But it also works that when that burn comes off, it's actually hurting the opponent as it comes off the actual opponent.
So they're asking in the chat, so 4 turns is my turn, enemy turn, my turn, enemy turn. And then they ask, what if I miss? Does fire level decrease? Does the stack decrease?
It's the beginning of your turn. Hold on. Let's see. The enemies are set on fire and take 1 solar damage at the beginning of their turn.
So this is one of those things that we're going to be going through and really nailing
refining.
down.
Yeah, we're going to be refining.
Sure that, because there has been plenty of questions about this. If you're burned, it doesn't make sense to be burned while it's. If I burn you, it wouldn't make sense for you
to come off,
be burned on my turn.
Correct.
Exactly, because then, it's not the beginning of your turn. So this is one of those things. If you're burned for 2 turns, then it's going to be 2 of your opponent's turns are going to be burned for. So for their next 2 turns, when they start their turn, they will take that solar damage.
Yeah. They'll take 1 solar damage at the beginning of their turn. So hopefully that's clear. And again, like Brandon said, we're going to refine.
We know there's a lot of questions about the turns and exactly how, and keep asking the questions so that way we can keep answering them.
Yeah.
But we are going to, like, Charlie was saying, we're going to be going through all of these and really nailing this down so that they can be worded, precisely. So that way there isn't any, it's not convoluted. You can just read the card, know what it needs, know what it needs to be done with it, know how it works, play it, and then move on.
Yeah, Brandon and I are going to be going through an entire card overhaul. My biggest goal, and I'm trying very hard to have this done by next week. And by that, I mean the artwork. I'm still working on artwork. I know I felt like I've been working on it forever for the past few months. I've been working very hard with all this artwork, trying to get it all up to date. Super diligently. So I'm trying to make sure I can get all the artwork up to par, but I don't want to be editing cards and updating cards when all the cards aren't completed. Just as good news, we're actually adding 3 more cards to the entire set. So it's actually going to be bumped up to 3 more cards than what the set was initially going to be releasing for balancing reasons. So we're going to end up adding more cards to it. But just know that we are going to be doing a whole entire overhaul to the entire set. We're going to be reviewing all of the terminology. And I think we're going to actually do it on our Patreon channel too. So anytime you see Brandon and I, Jason, or any of us on the Patreon channel, we're usually working. But we're going to be reviewing things and doing things, and you guys can feel free to jump on in and check us out and, kind of chat with us if you want to at the same time.
So we got another question in here. What if I miss? Does the fire level decrease? Here's the thing, is the card should tell you what effect is happening, if it's burning or not. So like, for instance, if you're using the Ardent says if you roll an even number, you burn, hit, or miss.
Yeah.
So you don't have to successfully target in order to burn someone using the Ardent.
Yeah, the Ardent will set you on fire.
Exactly. So now let's say you miss with the Ardent, but you proc the burn effect. So they would be burned
Yeah.
for one of their turns. Now, say I play a solar grenade on that same turn. Say I already played a solar grenade and I already burned you. I missed with the ardent, but I proc the burn effect. So now you're going to be burned for 2 of your turns.
2 stacks.
So, so that'll be 2 stacks. So, for the next 2 of your turns, you're going to take a solar damage at the beginning of your turn.
See, if the enemy is burned, all damage becomes kinetic damage after rolling a 4 or
We're
6.
talking about the second ability there.
No,
the second
I'm looking at the
Oh,
synergy of
okay.
it. See, you see how like at the very bottom, the Fatal Blaze, if the enemy is burned, and this is where conditioning your opponents is very important. This is when that burn stack.
If you miss, like say I roll a 2 and a 1 and I only roll a 3, I miss my opponent. I didn't successfully target them, but I rolled a 2 with that red dice, so they're going to be burned hit or miss.
Yes.
Now you're not going to be able to proc the rest of those abilities because you missed.
But it definitely sets you up.
But they're still going to be burned though.
It definitely sets you up for other cool effects, right? So there's Solar Charge. I think that card is out on TTS, where Solar Charge, if your opponent is burned, you can actually take the solar. I believe you take the fire from them and you reset your storage points. Let me double check that. I don't know if that's in.
It's not in there.
It's not in here. Look at me. I'm already sneaking. I already done told you guys a card that might be part of the set. So I could have sworn I thought it was in here.
I mean, maybe it is. I didn't think it was.
I don't know. Anyways, so I don't want to take up too much more time. But yeah, so there are other abilities that synergize with the other opponents being on fire. So you definitely want to pay attention to that. That's very important. So if you do set them on fire, like Brandon said, so let's say you threw a grenade and you also burned them with the ardent but still missed, at the beginning of their turn, they will take one of those damages down and it will still be on fire up until your next turn. So it still kind of sets you up to do other type of solar havoc that you're going to need to be doing.
And feel free, to keep asking questions about that. We know there's going to be questions about how the turn things work. And like I said, we're going to be working on the back end to make sure that, we clarify those. So when the Kickstarter happens, there shouldn't be any more questions about, was it my turn, their turn, how many turns does it actually last in? All those questions should be answered outright, depending on whatever the card says.
Beans. I'm always spilling the beans. Y'all know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is, we just want to make sure that you guys know that we understand it's a new game, right? It's a whole different game. It plays differently, and we expect it for this. Like we're prepared to kind of take the busload of questions, and in fact, it actually helps us to make sure that we didn't underlook something, right? A lot of the mechanics behind this is not like it's borrowed from any other system immediately. So that's why like we got to make sure that it's rock solid, and we expect for these questions to come in bulk load, because we got to make sure that it makes sense for you guys out there. Though it makes sense to us, it may not make any sense to you guys with it being a whole new system. And I can't tell you guys, hey, look at Pokemon. It's similar to this, and it's not, because it's there is no system I can compare you this to tell you, hey, it's somewhat like this or it's someone like that. So that's why we want to make sure that it's as clear as possible. We've also decided to add instructions on the ability cards of whether to discard them, whether to exile them after use. We're going to be adding more information onto these cards because we feel like we do have the space in there, and I think it'll be a lot easier to instruct you of what to do with the card from beginning to end. That way you guys don't got to keep referring to the rule book of what do rift cards do, what does energy blast cards do. It's going to say it right on the card.
We want you to read the card and play it, and as little as you need to refer to the rule book, the better, because nobody wants to be playing a game and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, how many pages is that rule book, Charlie?
Oh man.
Like let me flip
mini
over
ones
to
like,
page 18 over here
Yeah.
and see what this says about, solar flare or whatever the case may be. So
this is why we created this is why we created a quick rules card, a quick rules sheet, a turn order sheet card, like just to have with you at the table, just to quickly like be able to tell whether if you're doing things in proper orders. Again, we are the gamers, we are the players. These are things that we found that would be convenient for us, of games that we wish that they would have done, and this is kind of the solutions we came up with. Even with trap card indicators, these were solutions that we had to come up with that were problems in other games that we've managed to sit back and figure out how can we make a solution for this. And this is what it pretty much boiled down to. So we're listening, and if there's more solutions out there, trust me, we listen. Ask the people in our community. They know that we pay attention, and we definitely make sure that we try to resolve as much problems as we can as quickly as we can. All right, so that pretty much covers everything that we need. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Brandon.
We got one more thing.
Yes.
And this is kind of an error on our fault. We didn't mention this. I don't think we had this anywhere in the rules. And this is a question that's come up a few times, and that's about playing ability cards. How many the same ability cards can be played at the same time?
That's right.
So I talked to Charlie because I said, hey, Charlie, I don't see this anywhere in the rules. I know we covered it. I just don't remember it. And then Charlie said, no, this is how it's supposed to work. So we're definitely going to be adding this to the rule book. But go ahead and carry it away, Charlie.
All right. So essentially what this means is, and I know this is probably, some people are not going to like me for this.
Some people will not like you for this.
Yeah, clearly you can play multiple cards at the same time, right? So let's I'm trying to find some. I'm shuffling through a bunch of hooky dook here, trying to make sure I can find something that's useful. All right, so I think I can find something that could kind of prime this.
You can use those grenades. So those grenades would be a prime example. You know, playing them as trap.
Oh yeah,
cards.
correct. Well, yeah, these are traps too. So where's the other grenade? I'll just duplicate this one, right? Right, the power being the. All right, so with traps or any card for that being that is the same name, same type, right? You cannot activate multiple cards of the same type, right? So let's say for Conjurer's Focus, for instance, like a Rift card, right? You can't have multiple focuses activated on the field. You cannot draw 4 cards by spending 2-3 points, whatever it costs. Even though if you had all those points, you're the man, regardless. But the fact that you can use all those points to pull all them cards cannot happen. Right? So we're going to go ahead and use traps, for example, because that's a big deal. So traps, for instance, let's say this grenade here. I'm going to use it as a proximity mine. So now I have another grenade in my hand, which is going to be upside down, unfortunately, because I'm not in a set table. So I have another grenade in my hand. I cannot play that grenade as a proximity now. I have to use it as intended as a regular thrown grenade, or I have to hang on to the grenade card until my proximity card procs for me to play another proximity card, right? So now I'm kind of forced to have to use this as an actual grenade. Same goes for trap cards. So as you can see here, I actually have the Energy Barricade from the Sentinel class, which play this card face down after a hero has been targeted, add 2 defense to your hero and allies for 2 turns. So this card, for instance, I could play as my trap here, pay the 3-card trap card indicator just to showcase that I actually paid the cost value, which is kind of giving me a. There we go. Oh no! Wait, did I pick up the card? Sure did. Oh, there it is. What's going on here? Okay. Anyways, y'all got the gist. So now that I draw another Energy Barricade, I cannot play this Energy Barricade if there's already an Energy Barricade in play. You cannot. Either way, the effects won't multiply. You can't multiply the effects, so it ain't going to be like they targeted you, now you're going to get 4, and then all your allies are going to get, 8, whatever the multiplicative is. So you would have to wait until it procs. Once it has procced and did the effect that it did, now it'll be out the game, you'll discard it, and then from that point on, you could play another one. Hopefully that clarifies that up. We're going to make sure that the instructions are put on cards this time. But that rule is actually not, that was very underlooked on our part when we were actually putting in the rules. So we got to make sure that we clarify that, especially in the big book, digital big book.
So another thing just to add on to that, I got 4 of these dart grenades. If I play the dart grenade as a grenade, as soon as I discard it, then I can go ahead and play another grenade.
Trap.
So no, as a grenade.
Oh, as a grenade. Correct. Yes. Correct.
So if I'm playing them as grenades, I can play one grenade. I do I chuck it. Boom. And then once I discard it, if I got enough storage points, then I can do another grenade.
Or you could play it as a trap.
Or I could play it as a trap.
You could definitely play it as a trap at that point.
But the key here is you're only doing one at a time.
One of the same name, same type card. at a time. So if you had 2 different grenades that did 2 different effects, who knows? There might be one. I ain't gonna say nothing. But you decide to play one as a grenade, maybe one as a procs, and you can do that, or you play them both as a proc as long as they're 2 different grenade types.
Right.
And you can play it that way. But yeah, so we just want to kind of clarify that. It's kind of similar to mods and stuff like that. You can't have the same mods, same names, same types.
And there's because you only can play one of the same name. There's no stacking. No, there's no stacking. If I'm playing enhanced targeting, which adds 2 targeting and 1 kinetic damage, I can't put another enhanced targeting and then all of a sudden now I got 4 targeting and 2 kinetic damage. No, I'm only going to be able to play one. Once that card is removed from the field or discarded from the field, then I can go ahead and play another enhanced targeting.
Right. So that enhanced targeting. Now there are other cards. So what we're not saying stacking is impossible. What we're saying is for the same card, you cannot do. So if we had advanced targeting and you had another card that was adding, I don't know, an additional targeting to it, and you proc that, you can stack those targetings together. All of that would synergize and stack to your weaponry for targeting. I believe there was one, what is it, final outcome? Or is that damage? 5 life damage to deal 5 kinetic damage. Oh yeah, that's a lot of damage. Yeah, so the final outcome is the ruthless one that deals a lot of damage. Trying to think, do we have one that one deals more life? I think we do have a card, another one that allows them to draw more, but may not be in this set here. I mean, I got all these cards all over the table. But yeah, so hopefully that clarifies that. And I know that's not in the rules, but that's what's intended, and it will be in the rules. Brandon and I will make sure that on final game we'll get it up there. We're going to try to make sure that if we can get it typed up as quickly as possible, we'll update the one on the digital version to make sure that it's there too. And we're going to review the quick rule book that'll come with the games and see if it's... We may have to put a little bit of, maybe a sentence or 2 in there just to clarify that in the mini rule book. That way we have that information out there. But if you guys have any other questions, feel free to catch us on our Discord. Let us know, and we'll address as they come.
Now this rule it applies to the ability cards. So for weapons, you can play 2 mini phoenixes.
Correct.
And if you got, or say 2 phalanxes, you play 2 phalanxes, you could play a bipod on one phalanx and then a bipod on the other phalanx. And you can have 2 phalanxes modded out the exact same way right next to each other. So again, this only applies to ability cards. So that would apply to vitalities too. You couldn't put 2 vitalities that do that buff your defense. They would have to be 2 different vitalities of a different name.
Yeah, you can't have 2. You can't have 2 reinforced shields on.
Yeah, exactly.
Boom. Which would actually be OP is all crap, because if you're already taking away 2 from energy damage, can you imagine taking away 4? You just won't be taking damage, man. Bump that. Let's go all the way, right?
So you could put 2 of those in your hand to increase your odds of playing the card, but once you play one, you can't go ahead and activate another one and have 2 of them at the same time.
It's not only to increase the odds; it's actually beneficial, because if you get hit with a card like this one,
if you lose it.
That'll lose it, then you have another one in your deck to place.
If it gets destroyed or discarded, then you have another one in your hand to play. So hopefully that clarifies that question when it comes to abilities. Again, this rule only applies to abilities. It does not apply to weapon items.
Right.
And mods.
Right. So we'll make sure that we do put this. Hopefully we can get like a quick sentence or 2 in the ability area. When playing ability cards, that way we make that very clear. It'll probably end up being something similar that we have in the rules that state, when placing cards in your deck, you can't have no more 4 the same name, same type. And then uniques, you can only have 1 of the same name, same type. We'll probably end up similar, writing it out pretty similar for abilities that you can only activate 1 card of the same name, same type. Doesn't matter what it is, whether if it's a trap, of any kind, up until they're discarded.
All right, so that about covers everything that I wanted to talk about, Charlie.
Right, so this has been a pretty lengthy state of the game. We really do, and we usually don't run them this late, and I know that we have had quite a bit of updates to make sure that we updated it. And plus, of course, we had that system error.
With those advanced packs going out, we really wanted to make sure that because there was a lot of, since before the advanced packs, not too many questions. The advanced packs are out there. Everyone's like, wait a second, how does this work? How does that work? So we just wanted to make sure we get that out there, cover it. That way you guys know what's going on.
Yeah, and ultimately it gets us questioning, did we cover this? You know, and then we have to go back into our books, into our rules, into this and that, make sure that we covered it, because we want to make sure that we did cover it and that maybe you guys were just not knowing where that information is and just didn't know where to gather it. And, you know, and again, we got to look back. Is this a failure on our part? Did we not provide you guys the tools that were necessary to be able to do this? And we appreciate you guys asking these questions, because then it allows us to get on our P's and Q's and make sure that we cover all our bases and make sure that we do have it. Here it is.
And again, this is the whole point of the test decks. That's why, you know, I always start out by saying, you know, feedback, use those test decks. That's what they're there for, you know, to help us, give us that feedback, because we want to create a good gameplay for you guys. So
all right, that about sums that all up. Mr. Jason, Jose, do we have anything else we need to cover before we go ahead and wrap this on up?
No, I think I'm very good. You know what I'm saying? You know how it is. It's late.
We are good to go. We ran it late on them.
Yeah, we ran it super late. Yeah, we appreciate everybody that did stick around.
I'll show you this. This is some stickers we got for the collective for Comic-Con.
Hold on.
Those people who actually stuck around and hung out with us, they get to see them the exclusive.
Hold on.
I'll show y'all some stickers if somebody stops talking.
Well, Jay, you got to say something to get up on the screen, huh?
I've been saying a whole lot, man.
Here they are right there, them V's.
Got some stickers.
Yo, real quick, before we end this out, Brandon, could you give a quick fun fact about the V, about the deuces? I need you to give a quick fun fact.
Don't talk about no fun fact. Hold on, I got some other stuff.
Oh, Jason's showing all the toys.
Since y'all stayed so long.
The fun things.
I got some new pins.
Remember them pins, man, the collectible pins now.
New pins.
We already have the Saigons out. We got a couple more pins.
Keep looking. I got some more little square stickers. I got a bunch of stuff for you guys. See us at the Comic-Con.
Can't wait.
Right. Take it away, B.
All right, so yeah, Charlie wants me to say what I found out. I was watching, you know, I was nerding out, watching some videos. And as most of you know, we always sign out with our V's, Vanquishers Out. And
my Vanquishers Out.
Go ahead.
We do say Vanquishers
No,
Out.
No. He said this is my
You
Vanquishers
can say Vanquishers Out. These are my Vanquishers.
He throwing his V on the stickers.
I was so confused. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, you went into like a freeze frame too. I thought you froze for a minute.
I was wondering what was going on. Just put some leads up for you.
All right. So now that I'm done being confused, so I was watching a video and I learned that the peace sign actually originally did mean a V. It was V for victory. After the boys came back from war, they had won and everyone was throwing up the V's for victory and it had morphed into the peace sign, but the original is a V. So for all of you who see us throwing up them peace signs, they are V's.
That is absolutely
Vanquishers.
correct.
And we are going to be victorious. Stick
Absolutely.
around with us. Stick around to the Kickstarter because we will be victorious.
I love that. So on that note, for everybody that had stuck around with us and that has been kicking around with us, we appreciate.
One more thing, Charlie. You forgot, man. Some of y'all out there are just straight up, you know, falling
Slacking?
short.
Yeah,
You're slipping. You're slacking.
What they can do?
You have no idea.
What
Yo,
can
they
they do,
have
B?
no idea what's going on. They're not keeping up because they're not hitting the bell icon. You need to stay notified, people. Hit that bell icon. Stay notified. So that way you can know everything going on, Vanquishers.
Facts.
All right, Charlie.
So make sure that you guys go ahead and hit that bell icon, hit that share this all over the place. Let it go viral, man. We appreciate everybody that stuck around. Hopefully this information was very useful. And if you're watching this on a later date and had a couple comments, feel free to ask questions either on this video or you guys can visit us on our Discord or just go straight to our website at VanquishersTCG.com and go ahead and register to pretty much everything that we have available. But until the next state of the game, we had a lot of good funds, a lot of good information. But Vanquishers,
Out.
we out. Throw them bees up.